So, M.Beezy, when you look at the Florida rappers in the last, say the last 3 years, when you look at those rappers and what they've accomplished, or even if they may have fallen short, the ones that you can think of that's been out grinding, going hard, trying to make it, tell me this, what is it that separate you from that crew of rappers in the last 3 years that make you different from them, that set you aside from them? And I know that I want to make sure that I'm specific about this question, because I always hear you talking about how you rep Florida, how you love Florida artists. So when I use the word separate you from the rest, I know it may not be the best word, but that's the only thing I can think of. Right. But it's certainly there's got to be something aligned between you and them that you feel you have. So what would you think separate you from the rest of you guys the last 3 years?
I think, man, in the last 3 years, the biggest thing I say separate me, mostly every rapper that I heard about or got a buzz, it was either somebody, whether it was a football player or a record label, came and put money behind them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, ain't nobody ever did that for M.Beezy. You know what I mean? It was always Beezy and the family. You know what I mean? And we created our own buzz. We focused on Tallahassee, like home first. We gonna handle home first for 6, 10, 12, 14 months first. Then we would go outside to other people's places. Like a lot of people were saying, man, you got home tied down. You need to. It was all planning and timing. You know what I mean? So we wasn't in no rush to leave out of Tally. Cause as soon as I leave out of Tally, somebody else can take over my home. Right. You feel me? So I gotta get home right. You know what I mean? Stick my flag down, and then I go not to take over nobody else's home, but to, build a fan base and show them how genuine it is with me. Like no smoke and mirrors. We ain't just coming through the internet. We gonna come in the streets and put in the work. Right. So that's what separates me from a lot of the artists. I just see that, a lot of them, they had big people put money behind them, big change behind them, big co-signs by other rappers, you know what I mean, other record labels, and I ain't never had that. You feel me?
Well, you know what? It's funny that your answer is pretty similar to what we talked about a couple weeks back. Right. So your consistency is there, and it's nice. I do a couple interviews a year with different artists, and I can look back at the interviews that we have, and I ask them a question 6 months ago, and I ask them again, and there'll be a differentiation in the answer. So it's refreshing to see that your answer is pretty much the same. And I like there's several guys in the underground that I see that's doing that thing that's emerging, and like they might make it, some may not make it, but they looking good, they're working hard. When I look at that though, the one thing that I always realize is what's lacking is structure. Right. I just keep going back saying, well, this guy's talented, this guy can rap, this guy got a good song, this guy has a nice budget behind him, he work hard, he understands relationships, but there's no structure for his day-to-day movement. Right. And I look at you, and you got structure. You coming out the gate with solid structure. Your movement has structure. There's a protocol. Yeah. I mean, and so I'm looking and saying that these artists really need to look at what you put together as far as structure. So just kind of tell me, how did you manage to do so much with your music, have your movement put together, and have all that under one umbrella structured the way you done?
See, what I did was when I first, before I even go in the studio, man, I make sure with my camp, man, that we all feel that we got great concepts, and you know what I mean, and this and that and the other. Go in the studio and have everything written out. You know what I mean? And plan. I want to do this. I want to go in the studio. When I come out the studio with this mixtape, I want to have a DVD full of videos and interviews already ready to go. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to structure this and this and that and the other. So when it's time to go connect the dots, it's already written. Check. Where some people just get up and I'm gonna do this, and then when they done with that, they jump to that, and then you get lost. You know how we do. We have to run these streets. We got our own problems, so you need to. I just really just had my, my list. I keep the board in the house or wherever I'm at to keep me on the. You know what I mean? Man, you gotta notice.
Notes.
Everything.
You feel me? That's good. And I'll tell you what. The other thing that everybody's talking about. They're talking about how your situation is laid out on another side of the structure too. You got Big M,
right,
doing your management. Somebody
right.
who's been in the business, 18, 20 to 20 years now.
Right.
Really great management. They call him the quarterback.
Right.
And I can personally tell you this from him being a good friend of mine, that he just don't touch anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got Big CJ
right.
from Step Out Line Promotion, St. Petersburg. You got Jay Holler, LOC
right.
Enterprises. You got all these guys coming, working with you, working for you.
Right.
Because and guess what? They're not only working, but when I see them and I talk to them, they excited, man.
Right.
Nobody don't get excited no
right,
more.
Man.
They excited, and then this the last one you pulled off. I look around at all the gatekeepers.
Right.
You got 70
man.
members in the Gatekeeper Coalition, and I'm definitely proud to be a part of the Gatekeeper movement.
Right.
You got the gatekeepers, man, and this is something that, so you got all these things together pushing for you.
Right.
It seems like it's going to be kind of hard for you not to win.
Right,
you
man.
know?
And then with that, man, it's just like with that whole situation, it's like with Big Amp, man, the quarterback, my dog, man, you dig? So it's like, man, even with how all that situation happened, I'd never been a part of nothing before. It was a pleasure just for somebody like Amp to reach out and say, hey, boy, I see what you're doing. You know what I mean? With what up? What's going on with you? Kept it real with him. Hey, man, I'm out here running, just me and my family. What's up? He kept it real. Everything he said he could do, he did. Bam. I opened up, which I never did. You know what I mean? Because when you deal with so much flaw and so little real, it's so easy kind of to pick out what's flaw.
Right.
Easy, you know what I mean? And when you find something genuine, you can kind of tell, like, all right, this genuine, you know what I mean? So bam. When I seen how genuine Big Amp was, and then bam, when he introduced me to you and the rest of the, the Gatekeeper family and the whole Wake Entertainment, man, it just was all genuine.
Right.
And everybody clicked in and felt like family right away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Still with me doing what I'm doing and everybody doing what they doing, so much work getting done. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, yeah, man, it's amazing, man.
That's good. That's good to know, because I've always thought about. I think that if I got it correct, I think it was Jeb Bush a couple of years ago. He had this whole One Florida thing. He was doing the education system, and although I wasn't crazy about the whole ideology behind that, I will say this much: you always talking One Florida as far as this entertainment movement,
right.
And you always talking about the Florida rappers. So who are some of your favorite Florida rappers? Who did you grow up listening to?
Man, I got to start off with like Two Live Crew. Man, the whole crew, the whole Two Live. Anybody that got signed by Luke.
Yeah.
I can just go name for name. So anybody out there, you got signed by Luke, boy, I'm one of your biggest fans. You know what I mean? That whole movement, because I can go on and on and on. I mean, on down from like from the Plies to man, Granddaddy South. I mean, it's so many people from Florida that did their thing that it ain't too many I can say that I didn't did. You know what I mean? JT Money. You know what I mean? That was a part of the Luke thing, but it's a whole lot of them. I just don't want to keep naming names.
Right.
But it's like I say, Luke and Jam Pony.
Yeah.
And whatever they touched after that, Beezy was a fan.
Right.
They raised me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right. So everybody's raised in one way or the other through their musical influence.
Yeah, everybody raised through musical influence, like you say, some way or another. You know what I mean? No matter, you're going to take some. Either you want to get into the rap game, or either some raps you heard make you want to go get in another game. So in some shape or form, it's going to be some raising through the music.